Welcome to a little electric adventure.
We're going to a place called Kielder Forest Dark Sky Park, which is in Northumberland in the very north of England. And there's not a lot of people up there, which means there's very little ambient light pollution, which also makes it one of the best places in the country to go and look for stars.
The car we're taking? Well, it's the brilliant Polestar 2.
Now, why are you doing that, I hear you ask? Well, it's obvious really. In the night sky there is a celestial body called Polaris, or the Polestar. See where I'm going with this? Now basically, Polaris doesn't move very much and it's aligned with north in the sky. So if you're navigating at sea or anywhere really back in the day, you used to find the Polestar and then you'd be able to figure out where you were supposed to be going. It's obviously what this car's named after. You know, the star that leads the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Polestar to try and find the celestial Polestar. I'm also taking an electric car into a forest with no charging points, which will be a lesson in doing the maths on how much battery percentage I've got left and how far I've got to go.
Now this is the Polestar 2 dual motor, the one with a 77 kilowatt-hour battery and two motors on either end, giving just over 400 brake horsepower and four-wheel drive. In the UK, it costs around £50,000, but there are cheaper single-motor, smaller batteried versions on the way. In the meantime, this one does 0 to 62 miles an hour in under 5 seconds and manages 260-ish miles on the official WLTP cycle if you drive like a sedated grandmother. And in the spirit of glorious Top Gear overkill, I've also made some very subtle modifications.
Do you know what? I just really like driving this car, even wound out. These Öhlins performance dampers, most people wind them down to make the car more responsive and tighter and faster. I've done exactly the opposite and wound them right out. So the car's actually, it's not soft, but it's a lot softer than it would be usually. It's quite heavy, so this car's well over 2 tons, so when you go around the corner with the dampers wound out, it does lean a little bit, but the ride is actually pretty good. And also we're going somewhere very dark, so I thought we need some lights. So I've put 2 low draw LED spotlights in the front grille, and then also I've got an aerodynamic roof rack, which I've then ruined by putting 2 spare wheels and 4 extra LED spotlights. We may not be able to see the stars because we've brought some suns with us.
It's fair to say that adding a hugely unaerodynamic roof rack acting very much like a giant sail on the roof has not helped said range. Although it will charge at a healthy 150 kilowatts if you plot your journey to find the bigger rapid chargers, so it's not so much of a problem. But hypermiling, this ain't.
I don't know how off-roading affects your range, but I'm about to find out.
Yes, within a day, I'd managed to get a fairly important puncture. And although I had packed spare wheels, a jack, the locking wheel nut key and various other spares, I had entirely forgotten to pack a wheel brace to actually get the nuts off the wheel. And so, we had to send for help. Adventure wouldn't be adventurous without the odd hiccup, after all. But pride swallowed, the Polestar 2 was soon back on track. Literally. And ready for the night time. Those special lights, they really did work. I'm actually slightly surprised the forest didn't just catch fire. But we were on our way to find some help with real stargazing, a place filled with telescopes, star maps, and people much cleverer than us.
Hi, I'm here with Dan Pye, who is the Chief Astronomer at Kielder Observatory in Northumberland Dark Sky Park, and he's going to help us finally find the celestial pole star Polaris. Dan, where is it? Can you help us find it?
Yeah, it's just there.
Right. Thanks, Dan. Okay, Dan, I know who you are, but could you tell me, what is your name, what do you do, and where are we?
Yes, so I'm Dan Pye, Director of Astronomy at Kielder Observatory.
Now, I don't know whether you noticed, but we've got a Polestar car. Can you tell me about Polaris?
I can. So Polaris is a very special star for us, particularly in the Northern Hemisphere, because it means that we can always find our way north. The star itself actually isn't one star. There's three stars. It's a trinary system, which are three stars orbiting around each other. The main one is quite a big one, though. It's about 44 million miles in diameter, which is quite a bit bigger than our sun. It's about 400 light years away from us. And the reason why we call it the Polestar, the reason why it is the North Star, is because it just so happens to be perfectly aligned with that central point of that axis of rotation of our planet. So currently, our planet's spinning around as it does once every 24 hours, is pointing in the direction of this star. And then as we move our way around the sun, it more or less stays perfectly north for us.
See that dot in the middle? That is the Polestar.
So in prehistory, that would have been used for navigation for everything from boats to anywhere you didn't have a landmark. Is that what a Polestar would have been used for?
Yeah, absolutely. Navigation is one of its biggest uses, I guess, in history. But also we can use that the altitude of the North Star in order to be able to figure out what latitude we're on the planet as well.
So would you say it's the most important star apart from the sun?
Yeah, it probably is. Certainly for us up here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's sad that the Southern Hemisphere don't have a southern star. It makes it more difficult to find south in the Southern Hemisphere. But yeah, it's certainly one of the most important stars.
So there you have it. We came, we saw, we got punctures, and we found both Polestars. Although there are easier ways. Google, navigate home.